Well, it happened, and I don't know how to feel about it. I think it's no surprise that when the live-action MLP movie was announced, everyone got weirded out, and understandably so. How do you adapt this to live action? And for a while, it was just a meme, and even I treated it like that, because it sounded absurd. But now not only we have confirmation that it's real, and it's happening, but also we have new news on the comics and G6? Question mark? And what better way to talk about all of this than an unscripted video, and not only to talk about it, but to speculate on how all of this is going to be. I haven't made a video like this since the G5 cancellation, and for good reasons. I like to have concrete news and facts instead of pointless speculation and rumors, but I also want to talk about my concerns with the future of the My Little Pony franchise as a whole, so sit down, relax, and let's begin. So let's start with the big one, the MLP live-action movie. On Hasbro's official media page, it's now been confirmed that the live-action MLP movie is on the works, which, yeah, we already knew, but now it's official, and I'm concerned. Because even though we know nothing at this point on what the movie is going to be actually about, or even what generation Hasbro is going to choose, I can already guess it's going to be G4 or G1, and to be fair, they're not bad choices, both have great potential for stories, especially for a movie, and I've already talked about this with people in my Discord server, but shameless plug aside, while other people have said that this is a horrible idea and basically memeing the hell out of it, I haven't. If we look at it purely from a concept standpoint, it's actually kinda genius. Hasbro has the opportunity to reintroduce G1 to a new generation of fans. We could re-explore the world of Ponyland with new concepts or characters, and maybe explore more about the human world in G1. And that's without mentioning the new toys we could get from this, which would definitely be part of the plan for Hasbro. And it would tie in with the live-action angle the movie's going for without feeling out of place, and that could also be said with G4. Yeah, I know that a G4 live-action movie sounds insane, I know, but it could work. Just in a very specific way. How I see it, instead of being your standard adventure movie, make it a celebration for not only G4 as a generation, but also the fandom. Make it a comedy suited for all ages. Make the story simple but endearing, about the main six getting transported to the human world via a mysterious artifact, with Twilight being the one responsible to reunite them and bring them back to Equestria, while at the same time helping our human lead, in this case a kid or a teenager, one that is or was a fan of them, and helping him change his view on his social, family, or in personal life, highlighting themes and aspects that many fans loved about G4. Like, remember how the whole point of Tempest's redemption was how forgiveness can save you from a life of hate and living in the past? Or how Luna's story revolved around letting go of your past and moving forward to a better future, regardless of how others might see you? Or hell, how a failed friendship could have consequences in someone that can't move on from it? All these themes were present in G4, and ones that could make a great addition if implemented well in the movie. Mix that with humor that references the fandom, and I think you have a winner, because I don't think you realize how much potential the idea of the main six in the real world actually has, from a comedic standpoint. Like, we could have a joke of Twilight googling herself and being traumatized, or a funny joke about the G5 toys and why they look like that, or jokes about who is the best pony out of the main six, with them getting competitive or even jealous of each other, just to be revealed at the end that it was actually derpy. There is a lot that you could do with the concept alone, despite being in live action, because if I'm honest, I don't think the movie is going to be completely live action. And it could be a situation like the Chip and Dale movie, where the characters are cel-shaded interacting in a live-action world, or like the Sonic movies, where the characters have realistic aspects and details about them, but still retaining that cartoony look, something that would benefit the movie immensely, regardless of what generation it is. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think if you've seen my channel or watched one of my videos, you might realize that I'm a big fan of expanded media in MLP, more specifically, the comics. And recently we got news on what the next installment of the MLP comics is going to be. This is the Rainbow Collection, a fan-funded project that promises to re-release all the MLP comics in a collection of volumes, and it's kinda underwhelming. Okay, don't get me wrong, for newer fans or fans that haven't read the comics, this is a godsend for all of you. This is a great way to get into the comics, while at the same time not breaking your wallet.
Oh my goodness!
Because some of the prices the comics go for nowadays are insane, and in most cases are not worth it. But for a long-running fan like me that owns every G4 and G5 comic, this is kinda disappointing. Although I get why Boom Studios are doing it, it's a way to bring new fans into the comics in an accessible, nice package. And hey, it's not like we're not going to have anything new from the comics this year, because there's still a chance we'll have new MLP comics later in the year, which is an amazing set of news, and for sure I'm excited to see what kind of stories Boom Studios decide to do. And at least for the MLP comics, the future looks bright, unlike... So, at this time we basically know nothing about G6, and just to be clear, no, this is not a teaser or even how G6 is going to look like. This is just a commission Hasbro requested from Celeste, a very talented artist in the community, better known for her G1 art style. So why do I bring this up? Well, because this piece of marketing could foreshadow what G6 is going to be, and this is just my speculation, but hear me out. Hasbro is pushing G1 and G4 more than ever, and yes, they've done that in the past, but that was to promote the anniversary of My Little Pony, which included new comics and toys. But we haven't had any new toys or comics with G1, so why start now? Unless that's the direction G6 wants to go in, a reboot of G1 that adds elements of G4 into the mix, and if that's the case, I'm not looking forward to it. This would be the third G4 reboot we've had. Why? Who wants this? And don't get me wrong, I love G4 as much as any other fan, but I'm just tired of Hasbro recycling the same thing over and over and over again. Please just let G4 die. It had its run and it should have ended with Pony Life, and now it's time to move on. And to clarify, I don't mind future MLP generations taking inspiration from G4, like concepts, species, or even characters. G4 was the generation that redefined My Little Pony as a franchise, and it deserves every praise it gets. But one thing is to take inspiration, and another one is to put G4 characters with no rhyme or reason. There's supposed to be changes, improvements with each generation to try something new, and I'm worried that My Little Pony now more than ever is starting to lean too hard on nostalgia. And if that's the direction they're going for, this could hurt the franchise long term, and I know that sounds dramatic and crazy, but I don't think most people realize how important G6 needs to be for MLP, especially after G5. G6 needs to re-spark the interest in the franchise and bring people back, because if it doesn't, then MLP dies. That's how most shows go, and to be fair, MLP was already good at adapting back in the day with G3 and G4, as they knew how to keep it fresh, fun, and interesting. And to a degree, G5 did that with limited success, but now more than ever it feels like they're playing it safe, and a lot of people blame Hasbro, saying that they're doing it out of greed, that is nostalgia slap, and that they don't want to invest in something new. And yes, absolutely, there's some truth to that, but honestly, I think part of it also has to do with fans. There's something you need to understand. G4 sells, and that's just a fact. If you put a G4 character next to a random pony from another generation, more often than not, fans are going to buy the G4 character, no questions asked. If a fan sees a promotional poster of a G5 or G3 character, most likely they're not going to care as much as, say, a G4 one. And that's just a fact, and I'm not blaming anyone for having a preference, but what I need you to understand is that from Hasbro's perspective, this makes sense. They're not avoiding new ideas because they don't want to try something different or new. They're avoiding them because they fear that if they do, we might not like it. And I can't blame them. Look at G5, that tried to do something new and fans didn't like it, even when there was something decent to watch or to read. And now, more than ever, Hasbro not only needs to capitalize on G4's success, but at this point they're forced to. They're stuck playing the safe game because of their decisions, not only with MLP, but also with their other brands, which is unfortunate. But hey, like I said, this is probably just me, so what are your thoughts on this whole situation, and the comics, and G6? Leave it down in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe, and check out the Discord server if you haven't. I'm Sugarflake, and I'll see you in the next video.